Welcome back, True Seeker. It is Friday, May 24th, 2024. It's the 8th anniversary of Donald Trump stopping by the Vatican after Jerusalem Day, where he was in Israel on that day. But he was at the Vatican on this day 8 years ago, posing with his wife and his daughter and the Pope. And if you've never seen that image, again, look it up. The Pope looked like he pooped his pants. Again, it mattered that it was the 144th day of the year. In a leap year, today is the 145th day of the year, but that was 2017. Did I say 8 years ago? I can't count. It was 7 years ago. It was May 24, 2017 that Trump was at the Vatican with the Pope right after becoming president-elect on this day. Always a day of high ritual. And we're going to talk about what's buzzing in the news today, May 24th, 2024. We'll talk about Morgan Spurlock. A lot of you have probably seen his film, Super Size Me. It got a lot of attention when it came out. And it was kind of a no-brainer. It's like, oh, wow, eating at McDonald's isn't healthy. I mean, who didn't know that already? But apparently a lot of Americans. So we're going to talk about what's suspicious about his death being reported at this time in light of his work. And if you've never seen my work on the death of Ray Kroc before, who owned the San Diego Padres, who died in a huge ritual on July 18th in 1984, right before the Padres won the World Series, you should definitely go back and check that out. But also Sean Kingston, the Jamaican rapper, in the news for having his house raided 2 days after Notorious B.I.G.'s birthday anniversary, when Notorious B.I.G. is also of Jamaican ancestry. And then I looking into this, I noticed that Aston Barrett of Bob Marley and the Wailers died right before the new Bob Marley movie came out. Of course, they're Jamaican, but he died on Sean Kingston's 34th birthday, which we'll get to. But yeah, all this stuff, just such obvious ritual. Remember, Diddy's house got raided on the anniversary of the Biggie album Life After Death, which came out right after his reported death. We're going to bring all this together, but it's just, again, what a joke. What a joke. And the ritual is just so obvious. So obvious. Also on this same day, Obama makes an appearance at White House's Kenya State dinner. And we're going to talk about, again, another joke on the American people at the taxpayer expense. How much did this cost the taxpayer, this little ritual right here, just so, the world elite could thumb their nose at us? Again, the longtime joke that Obama's from Kenya, the birther movement. We're going to see how this ties it all together, this latest ritual in 2024. 13 years. It's been, we just passed the 13th anniversary on April 30th. Again, April 30th, 2011, Obama said he was from Kenya. He said the proof was the Lion King film with the birth of Simba, where he's actually Simba, and Donald Trump was there at that White House Correspondents' Dinner. And then Obama went on to the next skit, which was Trump being the 45th president of the United States. No one pointed out, though, that day was 45 days before Trump's birthday, nor did they point out that it was the 45th birthday of the Church of Satan, which, again, has the highest degree of MAGA, M-A-G-A, just like Trump's acronym for Make America Great Again. And you might have noticed that yesterday, Trump, the day this was going on, the Kenya dinner at the White House, Trump was in New York saying they're going to be the first to win the state since Reagan in 84. And Trump had to break out the snake speech again and tell the story of the snake. It's just, the serpent, people just don't get the jokes. We're trying to help them get the jokes, but and by the way, there's always 35 Thursday, right? We educate about 35 Thursday. You can tell just fake stat from the Trump camp that they were only expecting 3,500 people on Thursday in the Bronx as the Yankees pick up their 35th win of the season and the first game of the day on the slate. So yeah, we'll cover that a little bit more. If you're new here, if you're new here and you haven't heard of 35 Thursday before, you're going to hear about it for the rest of your life. 35 Thursday every week, and people miss the jokes every single week. And also we'll talk about this, the Catholic Church making the first millennial saint, Carlo Acutis, who died 18 years ago. R.I.P. We'll talk more about that. But let's start right here with the death of Morgan Spurlock. Again, if you're new here, every day I'm pointing out how the headlines are controlled by a system that was put in place literally in the 16th century, long before the idea of the television. Again, the Jesuits gave us the calendar and the language as we know it. We're on a calendar named after the Pope, and every day these rituals are in tribute to the Jesuit leadership. And case in point, this is in the headlines today that Morgan Spurlock is dead on the 195th day of the Superior General's age, the leader of the Jesuits. Morgan Spurlock in Gematria equates to 195. Now, you could also point out that they're saying he died yesterday. Remember, the two most Catholic days of the week are Sunday and Thursday, as we talk about week after week. But they're saying he died Thursday. Now, yesterday would have been the 194th day of the Superior General's age, or it would have been 193 days after the Superior General's age. 193 is the 44th prime, and we'll get to that with the Obama thing. Birther equals 44, him being number 44, elected 44 years after the Civil Rights Act. But 193, the 44th prime, remember, the word cancer equals 44, chemo 44, kill 44. This man did a movie about how fast food kills you and gives you all kinds of preventable disease and illness, including cancer. That's what he's remembered for. And now he's dead at a very young age. He died on the 144th day of the leap year at age 53. Remember, if you die at 53, you died in your 54th year of life. Jesuit order has that gematria of 144 and 54. And the news of his death perfectly coordinated with the Superior General. Day after day, these same types of things happening. That film, for the record, released on May 7th, 5/7, Super Size Me equals 57. So does Rome. So does Georgetown. Again, D.C. used to be called Rome on the Potomac, Jesuit stronghold. The year Georgetown was established was the year George Washington was inaugurated at age 57. May 7th can also be written 7-5. We know that's a huge number right now. The Superior General is 75 years old. So, again, Catholic Church has the gematria 75. So does Roman Catholic. So does New World Order. So does Order Out of Chaos. So does Order itself. Special number is 75. And, yeah, again, just another entertainer, well-known name, highly remembered for this movie. And now another entertainer that didn't get to live to be that long, you know. So R.I.P. to him. And then Sean Kingston, again, it's 2 days after Notorious B.I.G.'s birthday anniversary. We just had Diddy's house raided on the important day to Biggie in history. And now, while Diddy's the focus of the news, now Sean Kingston, who's of Jamaican ancestry, just like Biggie, again, his house is getting raided. And notice, again, Biggie born in 72 to Jamaican immigrant parents and lived in Queens, and there's a Jamaica, Queens. But from Diddy's birthday, November 4th, to this raid on his house was 201 days later. Again, another huge number with the Jesuit Cabal is 201. That's why the first Jesuit Pope lives in Suite 201 at the Vatican. And Sean Kingston is 34 years old right now. His hit song, and I remember I just thought it was one of the weirdest radio songs ever because I happened to be working at the group home in my life when the Sean Kingston, again, I don't know if Sean Kingston has other hit songs, but the one song that was everywhere on the radio at the time was in the mid 2000s. It was that song about, the girl that makes him suicidal. I forget exactly how the chorus goes. But anyway, the point is, I just remember all the little kids at the group home would really like that song, and they'd all be singing the chorus about suicidal. And I was like, this can't be good. These kids don't the littlest boy that worked at that group home when I was there. He was 6 years old, and he went around everywhere with his blankie, and he probably liked that song more than anybody, and he's singing all the time. And I don't even think he knows what the word suicide means. Little Jake singing suicidal. But in gematria, suicide equals 34, like murder, like poison, also like rapper. And again, fateful number is 34. But Sean Kingston, 34 years old at the time of this raid, also born on the 34th day of the year. And remember, that was the day that Aston Barrett of Bob Marley and the Wailers dropped dead by the code. 11 days before they put out the movie One Love about Bob Marley that came out on Valentine's Day. One Love equals 34. The word black, when you run the alphabetic order forwards, is 11. When you run it in reverse, it's 34. Aston Barrett died 11 days before the Bob Marley movie came out, but died on the 34th day of the year, Sean Kingston's birthday. And again, we're always talking about this spider web of celebrity and just ritual sacrifice. And, this person's gone and this person's promoted and, this person's still in their career. And now this person's gone on their birthday, like Lil Nas X. His birthday is the day DMX dies after the mega ritual of DMX, which also had a lot to do with this number 34. Remember, the news broke about DMX that he was pretty much dead on the third day of the fourth month. And the other way, it also mattered because it had a lot to do with LL Cool J, who is channel 43 on Sirius XM. And again, LL Cool J has the song 4321, and DMX was pretty much reported dead on 4/3/21. And it was right after Brady won the Super Bowl at 43 as the GOAT. And LL Cool J says on that song at the end that DMX is on that he's the GOAT. Anyhow, this stuff, it's just so obvious. And then here's where it really comes together. So I had to go back and look at when the album came out that had everybody singing Suicidal and look at what day it came out. It came out on July 31st. R.I.P. Bill Russell, who died in the mega Jesuit ritual on that day, 2022. But that's the day in history the founder of the Jesuits, Ignatius of Loyola, died. And Ignatius of Loyola equals 201, like the Jesuit order equals 201, like how his house got raided 201 days after Diddy's birthday. And then this is why my hair turns grayer and grayer every single day, because you got the people who've been wearing my work for a while now having conversations. At least they're talking about it more, but they're like, yeah, I'm not sure that, I just think like Jesuits is just another name. God. Yeah, the ones that gave us the calendar and the language and are in all the positions of power, and our capital was moved to their stronghold. And just people are dumb, you guys. I'm sorry, man. If people weren't dumb, this shit would be the most viral thing in the morning. There'd be 1 billion people tuned into this live stream right now if society wasn't brain dead. So, but yeah, just dummies. They keep looking at this stuff day after day. This is what we do day after day. We've been doing this day after day, just showing how obvious it is, how it all goes back to their dates, their rituals. They are saying number of parents are like, I don't know. I still think maybe knowing the flat earth is more helpful information. It's like, oh my God. Can one of these supposed meteors that took out the dinosaurs just come already? My God. We need a reset. Okay. Speaking of those pesky Jesuits, again, remember, Obama supposedly won the 56th U.S. presidential election. Black Lives Matter 56, like Washington, D.C., like Society of Jesus. Notice how Kenya's 56 forward, 79 in reverse, like Society of Jesus is 56 and 79. Remember, those are big numbers with Anthony Fauci. The pandemic was declared on his 79th day, being 79 years old. Jesuit educated at Holy Cross, who told the whole world on January 10th, 2017, there'd be a pandemic at Jesuit Georgetown in the time of the next presidency. And that was 10 days before Trump took office. And then, of course, the pandemic went down 56 years after Trump's Jesuit education began. But again, somehow, some way, people just think it's all a coincidence. So anyway, they got the Kenyan White House state dinner on the 144th day of the year. The United States of America 144, like Jesuit Order 144, like how the Jesuits came out of suppression literally 144 days after James Madison's birthday, who was the sitting president at the time. The only 201 president was James Madison. But yeah, this was 193 days after the Superior General's birthday, the 44th prime number 44 there. And we've been talking about the birther 44 thing for a minute. And of course, you run it the other way, it's 46. And now his wingman Biden is number 46, again, elected 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday. Thursday also has that Gematria 46. So, this gave the media a chance to bring back the old conspiracy theories and jokes. And did you see what Biden said? Did you see what Biden even did the joke? Biden did the joke last night. Biden then joked that, this is last night, Biden then joked that many members of the African diaspora were at Thursday's black tie event, including Obama, who just left. Again, no, I don't think Obama's really from Kenya, but I get the numerical joke. Who knows where the guy's really from? Just like I knew before I even knew Gematria, the guy was another political stooge talking out of his ass. And everyone should have known that because he went against his whole campaign pledge promise the day voting day came. And a lot of people are like, well, what was that? I voted for him. I didn't know about that. Yeah, that's why you voted for him. Because you don't know what the fuck's going on. Because you haven't been paying attention. That's why I'm so annoyed, you guys. I'm the person who's been paying way more attention than almost every breathing person in this country since 9/11 happened. And most people are just like, oh, I didn't hear about that. I don't know about that. It's like, yeah, maybe do some fucking research. Like, go back and look at what Obama was saying on the campaign trail in 2008 about how there's going to be this big vote for immunity for the telecom companies that undermined all of our First Amendment rights and privileges. And he kept saying he was a constitutional lawyer and this couldn't stand. And then voting day came and then he voted for immunity. I was just like, wow, is anybody really going to vote for this guy? That's all he's talked about on the campaign trail. If you've watched, I mean, he's brought it up in everything. I used to pay attention to everything back then. I used to watch C-SPAN every day. I was watching these bullshit movies and TV shows and rigged sports games. I was actually watching shit back then just to try and really point out to people how rigged the game was. I knew how rigged it was way before Obama came around. 2000 couldn't have been more obvious. We got the son of the last Republican president. 2004, we had the Battle of the Skull and Bones members that Tim Russert asked about on Meet the Press. Why are both you guys from an exclusive secret society that only allows 15 members per year? And they both laugh about it. Well, Tim, we can't say much about that. It's just amazing. And then you got a society of morons that love these people, that worship these people, that don't know shit about shit. And they don't know shit about shit because they eat shit and they watch shit and they never tune into the right voices. It's bad, man. Seeing all the dumbasses yesterday in the Bronx chanting USA as this guy is saying he's going to come back and do such a great job. It's like everybody should be. I mean, that guy shouldn't be able to survive in a crowd of Americans. Did people forget this was the guy that ushered in Switzerland in 2020? The banker agenda, the lockdown agenda, the end of America agenda. And now we get to choose between him and the guy who's about to meet his deathbed. I mean, God, it's pathetic, man. By the way, they brought in the 35 Thursday thing here, too, because White House's Kenya State Dinner, the official title of the event is 149, the 35th prime. The bigger way, White House's Kenya State Dinner is 337, the 68th prime, like Barack Obama's 68, like MLK got smoked on 4-4 and 68 on the planned path to number 44 years after the Civil Rights Act. And remember, don't forget that Simba equals 44. Again, for anyone who's never seen the Obama jokes at the 2011 White House Correspondents' Dinner, go back and watch him. You'll see. He says that he's Simba from The Lion King, born in Kenya, and he says Trump's going to be the 45th president. And seriously, just like I said, you guys, every day for this mockery, we all pay for this. How much did you make yesterday? Because what, 30% of your money pretty much went to the federal government, right? So you paid for a cut of the Kenya White House State Dinner, where they got to joke about how rigged the whole game is again. The same tired joke that's now 13 years old. Okay. Yeah, just again, just the Trump Bronx thing, you know. Trump expected 3,500. Why would he expect 3,500 people at his rally? He has 10,000 people show up at every rally he does. And New York's one of the most populated places in the world. Like, you can just tell the whole headline's bullshit. I guarantee no one there really expected 3,500 people on 35 Thursday. But again, first game of the day yesterday, Yankees take advantage of 35 Thursday. And yeah, again, the Yankees are out of the Bronx. And just to show you how perfectly scripted it all is, too. Again, Yankees became 35-17, beating the Mariners. And notice how New York Yankees in Gematria equals 191 and 187. Notice those numbers, 191, 187. And notice how Society of Jesus in the same ciphers is 191, 187. Again, that's the formal title of the Jesuits. You see the 56 as well? Yesterday was 56 days after the Yankees season began. March 28th, which also means it was the 56 days after the season began, or the 57th day of the season, which, again, is also interesting for a lot of reasons. But yeah, I mean, we've been talking about scripted sports and presidents for a long time, way before Trump got in there. And Trump had a whole lot of rituals, including the Nationals rigged 115th World Series. 138 days after Trump's birthday, Donald Trump won 38 like Nationals like Dave Martinez. And again, Trump took office with the 115th Congress, and he hired Steve Ray, the Rays announcer, to do Inauguration Day. All big scripts. Jesuit-controlled politics, Jesuit-controlled sports, all synced and rigged together day after day. All right, today, May 24th, is the 145th day of the year. Did I misspeak again? May 24th in this leap year is the 145th day of the year. Typically, it's the 144th, but this year's a leap year, so it's the 145th day. Catholic has that Gematria 145. Notice the Pope Francis is making this millennial a saint who died at a very young age. Carlo Acutis. Part of me wonders if that's why they picked him, because how his last name has the cute sound in it, and we know what these priests like to do with the little boys. We've seen some sick jokes from the church with these settlements by the numbers, like literally settling money for sexual abuse by a numerological code. It's just sick what these people do. Remember the one with George Floyd in the Catholic Church of Minnesota the next day? Woo! And then in the news was Wayne Sexton, the old teacher, Little George. But yeah, Carlo Acutis, 122, 175, just like Pope Francis. Remember last week on 17/5, the 17th day of the 5th month, we were talking about the Diddy video being released, and the video was from 122 days after Diddy's birthday at the time. And that same day, the Pacers got their 122nd. God, I keep forgetting if it was the win against the Knicks or if it was the 122nd win in the playoffs. It might have been both. They might have got their 122nd win against the Knicks and in the playoffs. But on 17/5, and again, these things are not an accident. There's a reason this little boy is chosen to be made the saint. Because again, he's a child who died from cancer. I mean, there's a lot of those stories, sadly, now. More and more children dying from cancer at younger and younger ages. A lot of Catholic and Masonic and secret society-based hospitals. If my sister heard that line, she'd be like, oh my God, that sounds so ridiculous. Because you haven't looked into anything. Nearly every major hospital chain in this nation either connects to the Masons, Skull and Bones out of Yale, or the Catholic Church, which has the powerful Jesuit secret society. So yeah, nearly the entire medical system is connected to the world of secret societies, just like the whole government is. And this is what's amazing, that in a nation of or just at this day and age, in the age of the internet where you can do research and libraries and books, all of this information's out there and almost nobody knows anything because their whole life's been spent on entertainment. It's all they know anything about, entertainment and consumer brands. Again, the average American, if I said name 5 luxury clothing brands, they'd be able to whip that out in no time. Name 5 members of the House of Representatives. Probably couldn't do it. Name 5 automakers. Boom. Done in half a second. 5 fast food companies. Your 5 favorite ice cream flavors. All right, but yeah, just going back and looking at this child. He was born on May 3rd. That day can be written 3-5, like Catholics 35. RIP to JFK, the first Catholic, number 35, killed at age 46. Catholic 46 the other way. But notice, from his May 3rd birthday to his October 12th death, 163rd day of his age, the 38th prime. Like death, murder, killing, and RIP are 38. So, go figure this boy. It just makes me wonder, like, what did they really do to this boy? Did something evil once upon a time, so now they make it nice by making him a saint and making him an international headline for a day. So, yeah, that's what's buzzing in the news. And again, a lot of you guys, don't forget I have a website, GematriaEffect.news. I wish more people would click on it. You know, if this website got more clicks, it would feed more in the algorithm. It would also find more people. My website gets very little views. And every day in the YouTube comments, I'll see like, hey, Zach, can you cover this story? And I'm like, I wish these people would read my website. I've had a post up on that for a day. A post been up on that for 2 days. And plus, half the time, I already have a YouTube video up on it that they haven't seen as well. But yeah, GematriaEffect.news is where the written posts always go. And, you know, most of my YouTube videos are just reading off the posts I did here. So the news usually breaks here first. And shout out to Nathan Always good to see you, Nathan. Thank you again for the generosity, friend. And indeed, happy Friday. All I appreciate it. Shout out to generous John Mendoza, who came with the 1, and then he came with the 2. Thanks again, John. You didn't have to do that. Yeah, a lot of people fell for that Obama guy. But again, congrats on waking up. That's something a lot of people never do. And shout out to Clean Money Gibbs. Rig Sports hit again yesterday, hit a 4,000 off the knowledge. Hit a plus 4,000. So if people don't know, that means like had he bet $1, would have won $40. Had he bet $2, would have won $80. So on and so forth. And I'm guessing he had the Edmonton Oilers in his parlay, but I'm thinking he'd probably definitely had the New York Yankees with the 35 Thursday in there. But yeah, well done, Clean Money Gibbs. Thank you for the tip as well. I appreciate that. So yeah, we'll leave it there for now, you guys. We'll see what else the day brings us. Again, 145th day of the year. The word Catholic's 145, 145 more chapters in the Catholic Old Testament. That's why Israel was created on 14/5, and the first prime minister was David Ben-Gurion, which equals 145. Remember, state of Israel equals 201, like the Holy Bible, like the Jesuit order, like David Ben-Gurion dying 201 days after the anniversary of Israel's establishment. So we'll see what other headlines emerge on this interesting date. And yeah, I'll probably be back later. So thank you again to everyone who hits the like and the share. And thank you to the people who subscribe. And this comment right here, just, well, it's not like, yeah, we're always heading for something worse because that's what the progression of our life is. It's like we were born into a system that's getting progressively more greedy, more evil, more tyrannical. And again, yeah, until people wake up to that reality and recognize the obvious pattern, the decline of the quality of life. I mean, right now, life expectancy down, just so many signs that human health is really bad right now. It's just, yeah, again, there has to be a spark that's going to change. So things will continue to get worse unless somehow people wake up. And part of me wonders if the reason it can't happen is literally because society's been too dumbed down. When I hear people having a conversation about how they're still not convinced of my work, but they think the earth is flat, I just say, "Whoa, man. I guess that's a sign of where we are. Just brain dead. Literally brain dead." All right, we'll leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. And until next time.